Right? Can anyone give me feedback? Is it visible? Right. So today onwards, we are going to start with our regular lectures of electromagnetic field theory. So I will be the teacher for this subject. So far we have discussed, we have studied some of the concepts from this particular subject, because in ATT the subject was introduced in your curriculum, because earlier what was decided, whatever you have studied in previous years, that has to be taught once again. But by understanding need of this subject and understanding the importance of this subject, we introduced one lecture in the ATT training, right? So in that we have studied some of the concepts from vector and vector algebra, right? So I'm going to introduce what is this subject actually. The name of subject is electromagnetic field theory. I'm going to follow this content, in which I'm going to talk about introduction, means I'm going to talk about myself, then syllabus I'm going to discuss, various books that can be referred for understanding this course. Then we will follow the usual process of about title, central idea, importance and outcomes of this particular subject, right? Then we will start with unit 1. Now introduction, as I have already introduced, I have introduced myself in first ATT session. Once again I do that because some of the students may be new in this class. So I am Ashish Jadhav. I have done my BE in 2009, ME in 2012, and right now I am pursuing for PhD since 2016 from VTU Belgaum. So as soon as I completed my BE, I joined in a teaching profession. So if I count teaching experience, it's 11 years. Next, a publication at international journal, international conferences, national journal, national conferences. If I add all those together, it's 26. Almost 8 books I have published on basically on a microcontroller applications, microcontroller programming, etc. And subjects taught, I have basically taught this microcontroller and application, that is MCA. Might be this subject will be handled by Deshmukh sir this time. Who is your microcontroller teacher? Okay, and A division? Okay, good. So MCA. Then I have taught electromagnetic engineering and radiating system. That is this subject EMFT. We earlier used to call this as EMER. Now this time we will call it as a EMFT, stands for electromagnetic field theory. Earlier it was EMER. It stands for electromagnetic engineering and radiating system, right? In addition to that, I have taught RSTC, that is random signal theory and coding. Then CT stands for coding theory. Then IoT for final year, that is Internet of Things. Then ADSP stands for adaptive signal processing, and advanced IoT, that is for PG program, that is MTech ENTC students. Now let us discuss about the syllabus structure. The code of this subject is ET311, right? So if I go through the teaching scheme and examination scheme, total number of hours allocated for the lectures is 3 lectures per week. Earlier there were 4 lectures, and now we have shuffled it. We have made changes into the teaching scheme. Earlier there were practicals for this subject. Now there will not be any practical for this subject. But we have just removed the practicals from this scheme, and we have introduced tutorial because we require more time to practice, right? So just to have a more practice on the examples, we have introduced a tutorial into the this teaching scheme. So total credits will be of 4 marks, 4 credits, sorry, and examination scheme will be like this. So ISC will be of 30 marks, ESE end same exam will be of 70 marks, means total 100 marks, and ICA, that is term work, will be of 25 marks, right? So if you total, it will be 125, right? So this is the examination scheme of electromagnetic field theory. So let us talk about the syllabus, in which first unit is vector calculus. It requires 4 lectures, in which we will basically deal with the scalars and vectors, which we have studied in ATT, the basic definition, difference between scalar and vector. Then vector algebra, in which your cross product, dot product, and all those things are to be considered. Coordinate systems we have discussed, right? So in coordinate system, basically there are 3 coordinate systems. One is Cartesian coordinate system, second one is cylindrical coordinate system, and third is spherical coordinate system, out of which we have studied 2, Cartesian and cylindrical. Today, if possible, if we get time, we will study this spherical coordinate system also. Then we need to study the differential length, we need to study differential surface, differential volume, right? So why we study differential length, surface and volume? Because when we talk about a vector, it's not a single component of vector, because if I consider a particular volume, you will find n number of vectors. If you consider electromagnetic waves, you cannot consider a single vector. You will have to consider entire volume through which entire wave is passing, right? So because of that, we need to understand what is differential length, differential surface, differential volume. Point is also there. Then vector transformation. So different coordinate systems we are going to study. Based on that, we will see the vector transformation, how you can change the point from one coordinate system to another coordinate system, and how we can change the vector from one coordinate system to vector of another coordinate system. So this is overview of first unit. Second unit is electrostatic. 8 lectures are required to teach this. Basically, we start this electrostatics with the Coulomb's law, which is very known to obtain the force between 2 charges. Once we get the force between 2 charges, we will be able to find the electric field intensity, of course, based on Coulomb's law. Then once we know the electric field intensity due to, let's say, point charge, we will go for finding electric field intensity due to different charge configurations. So there are charge configurations such as line charge, surface charge, volume charge, which we will see in a first unit, right? Then we will discuss the flux density. How much is the flux lines are crossing through a particular area is referred as a flux density. So del operator, once again we will consider in second unit, because we have done this with gradient, divergence and curl. We will apply those concepts in a vector, we will apply those concepts in an electrostatic field, right? So Gauss's law and its applications, divergence theorem, some of the basic principles we need to understand with reference to this Gauss's law and divergence theorem. Electric potential, potential gradient and electric dipole. These are very important concepts to understand how to solve the problems based on electrostatic field. So we will discuss those. Electrostatic energy. So if the point is placed at if a charge is placed at a certain place, and if you want to bring some other point, some other charge to that point, how much is the work required, how much is the energy required to be applied on that second point, we will calculate here in electrostatic energy density. Then boundary condition. Now suppose you are just changing the environment. Means what? Suppose the wave is transferred from let's say glass, and the wave is going out of that glass. So what will happen across the boundary? Whether the wave is continued with the same direction, whether the wave is going to change its magnitude. So basically wave is represented, electromagnetic wave is represented by a vector, right? And we know that vector is having direction and magnitude. So across the border, across the boundary, if the wave is changing its magnitude and direction, we must understand the boundary condition, whether it is going to continue with the same direction and magnitude or not. So this thing we will study at the end of this unit. So static magnetic field is the 8th unit. Similar to electrostatic field, magnetic field is also there. So very similar to the Coulomb's law, we have a Biot-Savart law in the magnetic field. We will discuss the Ampere-Circuital law. Then this Ampere-Circuital law will help you to obtain the magnetic field intensity. Then we will discuss the Stokes theorem, magnetic flux density, current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, torque on a loop, energy stored in a magnetic field, right? Boundary conditions for magnetostatic field. These are the contents which we are going to discuss in 3rd unit, right? In a second section, which is basically deals with the Maxwell's equations. Right. In a Maxwell's equation, we basically talk about Maxwell's equations for static case, for static field, for time varying field and harmonically varying field. So entire chapter it goes around those 3 concepts: Maxwell's equation for static field, Maxwell's equation for time varying field, and harmonically varying field. So most important part of this unit is those 3 concepts. Next is electromagnetic wave propagation. How the electromagnetic waves propagates in different media, that we are going to discuss in this unit, which requires 6 lectures. So wave propagation in dielectric conducting media, modification in wave equation for sinusoidal time variation, then propagation in good conductor, skin effect, skin depth we are going to talk about. Pointing theorem. So with this pointing theorem, you will be able to find how much is the power transmitted if the electromagnetic wave is traveling from certain media. So this is basically P is equal to E cross H, right? This is a cross product between electric field intensity and magnetic field intensity. This will give you the pointing. This is the basically a pointing theorem. So this is power flow in uniform plane wave. And last one is transmission line. So this is the 6th unit. Last unit of electromagnetic field theory, requires 7 lectures. So transmission lines which requires to carry the electrical signal to let's say antenna, right? So the electrical signals are being carried out by transmission line. So here we will see basic primary constants such as R, L, C. You might have studied this: resistor, inductor, capacitor, G, Z0, Y, right? So we will discuss those here also in transmission lines. We will see basic characteristics of transmission lines such as reflection coefficient, transmission coefficient. VSWR stands for voltage standing wave ratio. Impedance transformation is also to be discussed, and most important part of this is Smith chart. So with the help of Smith chart, you can calculate different coefficient, different characteristics of let's say transmission line. Right. So this is about the introduction, or you can say the syllabus that involved in EMFT. Next is recommended books. So these are some of the recommended books for EMFT, but I personally refer this textbook 1, that is Electromagnetic Engineering by William H. 7th edition, Tata McGraw-Hill. So this textbook is very important. And second one is a reference book from let's say point number 1, that is Electromagnetics Outline Series by J.A. Edminster by Tata McGraw-Hill itself. So these 2 books are very important. You can refer, and one more book I should suggest, but unofficially, because this is not recommended, but if you see previous question papers, if you see previous examination schemes, if you see previous curriculum, which is indirectly based on that book, and the book name is Electromagnetic Theory, Electromagnetic Theory by Sandeep Wali. If you want to take a note of this name, you can. Electromagnetic Engineering by Sandeep Wali. Noted? Okay, let's move ahead. So I was talking about uh, uh, title of the subject. So electromagnetic field theory, that is what I'm going to talk about. Now, since electromagnetic field is not a new concept to you, because you might have studied this in 12th, you might have studied this in a final year, or let's say in second year of diploma. So let us recall some of the concepts. Yes. Anyone want to talk anything? See, I'm presenting the slides, so I request every participant. I will not be able to see whose mic is unmute. So I request all the participants, just ensure you are on a mute mode. Thank you. About title of subject. So in which let us split the words electromagnetic field theory, right? So let us split the first word into two parts, electro and magnetic. Rather, I should say it's a combination of electrostatic and magnetostatic. It's a combination of two words. First is electrostatic, second one is magnetostatic. Now, as far as the electrostatic field is concerned, the field which is produced due to stationary charge, I'm talking about electrostatic field. The definition is the field which is produced by a stationary charge. You might have some understanding about the charge, because we are going to talk about this charge on in second unit, right? So the field which is produced due to stationary charge is referred as the electrostatic field, and the field which is produced due to moving charge is called as a magnetostatic field. Hope this makes a clear sense about electromagnetic word. Electromagnetic word is a combination of two words. First is electrostatic and second is magnetostatic. Now, electrostatic field is the field which is created due to stationary charge, and magnetostatic field is the field which is created or caused due to moving charge. Moving charge means what? It's a current. So uniform or constant current may result in a magnetostatic field, right? So stationary charge causes electrostatic field, and moving charges causes magnetostatic field, right? So this is what a combination of electromagnetic means. Second is field. What do you mean by field? If I talk about cricket, what is the field? Whatever area covered inside the border, inside the boundary, is referred as a field, right? So in technical words, I can say field means area under influence, right? So if I place a magnet somewhere, so whatever is the area under influence of that magnet is called as a field of that magnet, right? So wherever across that magnet, wherever you find the force, that area comes in the field of that magnet, right? Area of influence. Now suppose the example of a class. If I'm talking inside the class and the students are listening to that lecture, so to whomever my voice is audible, that will be my field. right? So in that sense, I can define field is the area, total area under influence is called as a field. And theory means here we are talking about basic principles, basic concepts, basic derivations behind all the concepts. We will be solving the problems, right? So theory means we are talking about some basic things, nothing new into that. Whatever is in existence, that we are going to study in this unit, in this particular subject, right? So this is about the title of subject. Next one is central idea. I just have discussed entire syllabus, so you might have understood what we are going to discuss in this. Starting with the mathematical concepts like vector algebra, then we will move on to the electrostatic field, which is caused due to stationary field, a stationary charge. Then in third unit, we will talk about magnetostatic field caused by this moving charges. Then we will discuss the Maxwell's equation, how the wave is transmitted is discussed in fifth unit, and finally we will discuss the transmission lines. Basically, the changes here. Earlier we used to have antenna in the last unit. Now I should not say this, but people feel it's very difficult for getting passed in this subject. But let me clear you one thing, you will never ever find this kind of syllabus, because if you compare the length of syllabus of this subject with other subjects, you will find this is smallest subject you are ever going to study in the engineering. Smallest subject of your engineering career, engineering academics. Second thing, as I said, I told you one book, that is Electromagnetic Engineering. If you refer this book, I'm sure you will be able to write entire 100 marks paper. You will be able to attempt entire paper if you refer a single book which is very, very small in size, right? But still, people say it is very hard to get passed in this subject. I tell you the reason why. Some of the basic concepts like vector, algebra, dot product, cross product, people find it is very difficult, very easy to calculate such a things like vectors. But I told you, people make a mistake while calculating the vectors, and that's why their entire answer goes wrong, right? So this is the basic mistake I observed in examination, I observed in assessment, during assessment of university answer sheets. So hope you will take utmost care, you will practice more, and you will score more, because I remember I taught this subject last time, and one of our student have scored almost 91, I think, out of 100. So I don't think it is difficult to score more in this subject. Actually, I would say this is scoring subject. If you just forget about the difficulty and all those prejudiced cases, you will find this is very easy subject if you practice more. But I should say it is difficult if you don't practice, right? Importance why this is introduced, because lot of electromagnetic systems are there which are based on such a concepts such as Coulomb's law and that electric field theory, magnetic field theory. You should understand the transmission lines to understand the antenna. That's why this subject is introduced in your curriculum, right? Next one is outcome. So after studying this subject, what you will be able to do? Number one, you will be able to define and recognize different coordinate systems. This is first outcome. Second one is you will be able to derive the basic laws of electrostatic and magnetostatic field. Then you will be able to apply the boundary conditions. You will be able to derive the transmission line equations, and you will be able to apply the knowledge of Smith chart to the to determine the transmission line parameters. So this is about the entire syllabus, entire subject. Now let us move on to unit 1. I think we have studied scalars, vectors, vector algebra, in that cross product, dot product we have studied, coordinate systems we have half done, and we have studied the del operator. So these are the recommended books for this particular unit. So we have a lot of discussion on this first unit. So let us move on to the point where we have stopped in ATT. So in ATT, I have given you one task. So if you remember, does anyone remember what task I have given in ATT? Okay, I have asked you to derive that thing, right? So anyone has solved that? Anyone has solved that? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So let me tell you the answer. Let me give you the answer for that example. That this was the problem, I think. Let me try to share my screen. I should say stop presenting. Switch camera. Okay. So just give me feedback. Are you able to see this? So whatever we have discussed up till now, I'm not going to repeat by the time. So if we get some time at the end of our curriculum, at the end of our subject, I will once again repeat what we have discussed in first unit. Is there anyone who is attending my lecture for first time? Who is that? Who is attending my Prajakta? Prajakta Kulkarni. Okay, Prajakta ji, what we will do, because I have discussed some of the points in ATT, right? And if I repeat, student will get bored. So today I will just continue from whatever we have left behind. And for you, I will organize for you and the student of those students who have joined this session for the first time. I will organize one more session. In that, I will discuss those basic concepts like dot product. We have just discussed whatever you have studied already. But still, for you guys, I will once again organize one session in which I will discuss basic scalar, vector, and dot product, cross product, etc. Right? Prajakta ji, is it okay? मी आणखी एक सेशन घेईल, त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला शिकवेल मी ते. So I'm talking about this, right? Homework which has been given to you last time. some of you have tried to solve this. So let us solve it again. So the question is how you are going to prove this or how you are going to equate this to 0. Is it visible? Just give me the feedback. Is it visible? It's blurred? But are you able to see the text? You are able to see the text? Okay. Some of you might have came across this del phi. What is del phi? Del phi is the definition of what? Gradient or divergence. It's a gradient, right? So if I use the definition of gradient, I will find this del phi is equal to dou phi by dou x, a bar x, plus dou phi by dou y, a bar y, plus dou phi by dou z, a bar z, right? So this is the definition of gradient. Now I am going to use this definition. Let us treat this and let us treat this as one vector, right? Because it's having a bar x, a bar y and a bar z terms. So let us treat this as a vector, and we know that curl of del cross del phi. How you are going to find this? You have to multiply this entire bracket with a del by taking a curl, right? So I can write here is equal to del cross dou phi by dou x, a bar x, plus dou phi by dou y, sorry, this is dou y, a bar y, plus dou phi by dou z, a bar z, right? So how you are going to take this cross product? We know that there is a definition of curl. This is equal to